Hi there, I'm Noah Bradley. This is Handmade House TV, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about stone chinking in a log cabin. So stay tuned. Well, all right, once again, thank you for tuning in here to Handmade House TV. And today I want to talk to you about an unusual topic, but I've gotten probably half a dozen emails over the course of the last year about this particular style of chinking and whether or not I'd seen it and what I thought about it. And I thought I would share that with you rather than me having to constantly explain the same thing over and over again to other people. And the topic is on stone chinking. I guess that's the best word I can come up for it. And that is, there are a few old log cabins out there that look like this, that have the chinking in between the logs where stone is clearly visible, and some find it interesting to look at, others find it very appealing and wondered whether or not it would be appropriate to install in their log cabin. And here is my best response to that. First of all, yes, indeed, I have seen log cabins like this. They're typically found in the great northern part of Virginia, and but most of them I've seen in Pennsylvania. And I don't think that the log cabins were originally built with this particular look. I think that what is drawing people's attentions, those individuals who like this look, is that there is something really wonderful about combining materials. And one of the most attractive ways of building a timber frame is by filling in between the various timbers with something unusual like brick or stone work. And the two combined together, wood and stone, is just incredible. And so where I think this style of chinking came about was not in the by the original people that crafted these log cabins, but I think it was by an individual later in later years who was undergoing the restoration of these log cabins. Now, originally, when log cabins were chinked, the area in between the logs was what they called at the time chinking, and they would fill the area, the gap between the two, with either wood chunks or with stones. And then what we're seeing here today, what we've referred to as chinking, was actually called daubing at the time. And it was a layer of lime, clay, dirt, horsehair, moss, you name it, smeared over top of the stones. And so the stone would actually be there as more of something for the daubing to adhere to back in the historic day. And I can easily understand how when you worked in an area such as Pennsylvania, where really nice limestone hunks were available and not just ugly shards of granite, such as what's found here in most of Virginia, that the stone would have actually looked fairly decent in between. And so I think that when the individuals came in to restore it, they left those original stone chunks, and rather than covering them over with another layer of daubing, they just more or less filled in between them, much as mortar goes in between the stones in order to give a more artistic look. I don't fault the individuals who did that. I think they were expressing their own particular artistic expression. Some people clearly like this look, and others don't. So I don't want to make any judgment of it. Whether or not I would recommend doing it, first of all, I don't think it is historically accurate, and you always win whenever you side with historical precedents. And you want to be extremely careful whenever you walk away from that. You're free to do that, but the more you do, the more you end up with something that you might not like the finished result with. The second negativity about this particular look is that it clearly creates, rather than one consistent layer, medium between the two logs, you end up with dozens of them in between, a lot more area for potential air or water infiltration to occur. And also myself, I find that I like to remove the stone and the wood from previous generations because there's zero insulation capacity and there's no room for me to run my electrical wiring with that original chinking in place. So I like to remove it, put insulation and wiring back into that space between the two chink joints that we call now, and totally remove that. So if I had a say in making a recommendation to you, I would say don't go with this particular stone look, stone chinking look. And but if you do decide, it's okay. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hope it was informative. Thank you for tuning in here today. And don't forget to come see us over at handmadehouses.com and consider enrolling in one of our premium courses, such as the Chinking Academy. It's less than $100 and it'll show you in several hours exactly the best way in order to chink a log cabin at the most attractive look, which happens to be the least expensive option, and also one that I guarantee you will last you for decades with zero maintenance. Man, how can you go wrong with all that? So anyway, you guys take care. We'll look forward to seeing you next week here on Handmade House TV. Bye now.